Can you, like, seriously not? Just no. Down. Off. This is the ever so famous. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Here we are with another end of the month monthly hits and misses. Things that I was like, woo, yeah, and things that I was like, not so much. As you could tell by the thumbnail, today I feel like we have a lot of misses. Things that just were underwhelming, totally bad, or things that just weren't good. More like things that just didn't really like stand out to me as amazing. Like they weren't bad, they just weren't phenomenal. Alright, let's start off with a positive. I'm pretty sure I've hauled these pretty recently. I don't know if the like highlighter haul follow-up review video is up yet. If it is, I will leave it down below. If not, stay tuned. But these are two of the Ofra highlighters. This one here is in Star Island, and then this one is in the ever so famous Rodeo Drive. Now this highlighter formula is stinking phenomenal. It is amazing. I had not tried these because I guess I had certain prejudices or feelings about Ofra, but now that I have, they're just amazing. This one here is Star Island, and it's just so pretty. It's this perfect pale gold. Rodeo Drive, I was like, is it gonna work for me? Is it gonna be too dark? And it looks kind of darky dark in the pan, but on your skin, it is absolutely beautiful, and it is going to work amazing for me when we get back into summer. I've just been absolutely loving these, been using them, can't put them down. Alright, let's get the elephant out of the room. We have the Kat Von D Fetish eyeshadow palette. It's back in its packaging because I have made the decision that I don't want this in my life anymore. I took the face palette back to Sephora, and I need to figure out if I can return this back to the Kat Von D site because that's where I bought it. It looks like this. It could have potential, but the eyeshadow quality didn't impress me at all. I did a whole palette roast on this thing. I will leave that link down below. It underwhelmed me and disappointed me in so many ways. I honestly feel a little bit betrayed by this thing because usually her holiday releases are phenomenal. I've never had a Kat Von D product that didn't end up working for me, and this was just abysmal. It was horrible. Okay, I do have a palette that did work really well for me. This is the ever so famous and popular Melt Cosmetics Gemini palette. I do have a review on this. We'll leave that link down below. Now, obviously, the color scheme is absolutely beautiful to me. I absolutely love it, but the quality is really good too. I love the ratio of mattes to shimmers. You get 10 shades and you get 8 mattes and 2 shimmers, which is what I absolutely love. You always hear me saying mattes are the backbone to a good palette. Every shade in here is absolutely beautiful. This Bonnie shade, which is the black, is an amazing black. Definitely competing with my love of the Kat Von D black, though the bad black in this palette, that wasn't a Kat Von D black, that was something else. But I've been just loving this. It's very fall. It's very October-y. I'm going to keep wearing it, obviously, all the way into November. These are going to be really great for that, like, Thanksgiving and Christmassy vibe. I just absolutely love this. And I find myself, like, being like, no, Sarai, you have to use a different palette. You can't keep using this one. But I'm like, but I love it. Then a palette that was just kind of so-so. Like, it wasn't bad, but it wasn't amazing. I have a review on it. The Anastasia Beverly Hills Sultry palette. Like I said, I did a whole review on this thing. The quality is nice. The mattes are beautifully. They blend very well. The shimmers are absolutely gorgeous. You don't have to use a setting spray or anything like that. The shimmer to matte ratio is okay. I would like honestly think the palette would be a bit more wearable and user-friendly if some of the shimmers were matte. In my review, I talk about this palette being really good quality, very up there with the ABH standard, but I have issues with layout and sort of the creative, artistic way that it went. I feel like it could have been so much more than it was. I haven't really touched it since my review, which probably means I should consider returning it. It just isn't something that I look at in my collection where I'm like, yeah, I really need to do that, use that. Though I will admit this Ember, Rose Quartz, and Steampunk are absolutely beautiful. Though Steampunk is hideously similar to one of the shimmers in the Soft Glam palette, which you guys know I absolutely love. But like I said, it wasn't horrible, but it wasn't amazing. It's just not something that has like stood out to me and been like, oh yeah, you totally need to use this, because it's not just because it's neutrals. The Soft Glam is neutral, and I look at that and I'm like, oh, I gotta use that. And this one I just look at and I'm kind of like, you're a little bit more work than what I want to deal with right now. All right, let's get a positive in here before we get into the last negatives, because they're just, like I said, I was going through stuff being like, what have I hauled? What have I tried? What have I been using? And what worked and what didn't? And there's a lot of things that were just kind of But a good thing is the Becca Shimmering Skin Perfector Poured. This one is in the shade Moonstone, and I just absolutely love this. I have it in Pearl as well. Mixing this in with my foundation is absolutely perfect. It gives me a beautiful, much more dewy, luminous, healthy. I'll put it in, say, a more matte foundation that I like the finish of, but I, want it to be more luminous. And this stuff here really does the trick. I know I'm going to be using this even a crap ton more come in the darker, colder, more dry months. Because if my face is dry in the summertime, you all know how bad it's going to be in the wintertime. And Virginia winters are not nice. Then some highlighters. We'll start off with the ones they aren't new, so they aren't something that I've like really recently attributed to my collection, but I was doing like my highlighter decluttering collection thing and going through, and I was like, I kind of really want to retry these and see what's up with them, and they ended up on the chopping block. These are the NYX Born to Glow highlighters. This golden one here is in the Chosen one, looking there like that. And then this one is the Stand Your Ground shade. So Chosen one and Stand Your Ground, they look really pretty in the pan. The price point is, I feel, a little bit much. These things are $10 a piece, and you're getting 8.2 grams, which for the price point is pretty good, but for the quality of what you're getting, not so much. These are just more of a faint highlighter. They're a stiffer formula. They're not very creamy. I had to work really difficult to get any semblance of the kind of glow I wanted on my cheeks out of these. I mean, you feel them and they feel really rough, and you're like, okay, all right, there's that. And the swatch looks nice there, but it just doesn't really do much on my skin. Then this one, once again, dry and whatever. I just wasn't a fan of how they performed with how I was using them. So considering the fact that I paid 20 bucks for the both of them, and I'm only getting kind of a kind of glow, these were really disappointing just overall and in the month, because that's when I was trying them out again. All right, next up is another highlighter that's like kind of okay, not amazing, not horrible, just not my thing, kind of disappointed. These here are the Winkie Luxe Powder Lights highlighters. Now they're 18 bucks at Ulta. They're teeny tiny. This one here is in the shade Celestial, which, believe it or not, does work for my skin tone. They feel really nice, and the glow that's that on the top is just kind of subtle. Then this one here is Charm, which looks like it would basically be Becca's Pearl, but it's more like shifty duochrome going on right there. And the problem I have with these is basically that the glow is kind of nice. It's nothing crazy, and I can get behind a subtle highlighter. But like the NYX ones, it just took a lot of stinking effort to get like what you see on a swatch or what you see in the pan to really show up on my face. And they're, like I said, a thicker formula. They do tend to show texture on the skin. They weren't hideously flattering. They weren't very like, it was like a streak of highlighter. It wasn't like, oh, I'm just healthy and luminous and amazing. So they weren't terrible, but they definitely didn't stand out in a good way. And then I'm pretty sure I've hauled this. I don't even know if I have, and if the haul follow-up is ready. I don't even remember what I said about the haul follow-up. But after having using these for more than a couple times, I have concluded that I hate it. And that is the Too Faced Peach Perfect Comfort Matte Foundation. So I was stupid, and before trying the formula and just being like, oh, it'll work fine, it'll be amazing, it has good reviews, I did buy 2 shades, one in Swan, which would be my winter shade, and one in Vanilla, which is a horrible, horrible skin match for me. So, like, you squirt it out. Let me just get, like, just, there we go. And it may be because it's the wrong undertone or it's too dark or what. Oh, my stars, look how dark that is. Oh, my heavens. Can you see how orange that is? That is not going to work on this complexion, even in the summertime. So that is my own fault, but shade aside, this is supposed to be a comfort matte foundation. And, like, I put my primer on. I used it with a friggin' Too Faced primer. I've used it with the primer that this is part of. I used it with the Too Faced Hangover RX. I've used it with my Holy Grail primer. And every single time I would like put it on and then I would go to blend it out with like my beauty sponge, my Real Techniques, whatever. And my sponge would literally eat the foundation, especially in this area. It did not want to lay down and on my nose, and I'm like, maybe if I just keep dabbing it, maybe if I use more, I'm just using more foundation and the sponge just keeps eating it up and it's not going on my face. So it was not a fun time had all around. I had really high hopes with this foundation, and it just, the formula didn't work well with my skin type, whatever. I did try using a foundation brush. I tried a flat foundation brush, and I tried like a thicker, whatever, poofier, just whatever foundation brush. Didn't work that way. Did the exact same thing. It just, it didn't want to stick to my face. It just wouldn't work. So I guess the Peach Perfect has now taken the place of the Born This Way foundation, because that's a foundation that I actually love. Maybe if I keep this one in my drawer for way too long and then go back to try and use it, I'll love it. I don't know. Alright guys, that was my hits and misses for October of 2018. As always, let me know what you think about any of these products. If you think I'm right, I'm totally off my rocker, what your experience is and what you think about these are, if they're your holy grail or you hate them. Hearing about what you guys have to say always makes me smile. But thank you guys so much for watching. I love you, and as always, keep it real. Mwah!